Yeah.
What's that?
The
Never
meeting.
watched it. I've never seen it.
Older gentleman.
It's on like 3 o'clock in the morning, so.
Okay. Good evening. This meeting is being held in accordance with the public laws of 1975, Chapter 231. An adequate notice has been given in accordance with the Sunshine Law. Notice was published on December 7, 2016 in the Union County Local Source, the official newspaper for the Township of Springfield, and posted in the Annex Building on December 30th, 2016. Please rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Jen, can we have a roll call?
Mr. Luigi Monaco, absent. Mr. Stephen Hochstein.
Here.
Mr. David Schnurr is absent. Mr. Mark Cunningham.
Here.
Mr. Greg Roth is absent. Mr. Daniel Polchak.
Here.
Ms. Jody Cohen.
Here.
And Chairman Anthony Fonseca.
Here.
Mr. Keith Laughlin.
Here.
Mr. Sam Mardini is absent, so in his place we have Mr. Art Elias, who's actually the zoning board engineer, and I'm here, so we have a quorum.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, I'd like to ask for a motion to approve the minutes from the May meeting, please.
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Any objections or abstentions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have one resolution from last month. That's application 2017-5. Dennis Tolentino, 34 Cotler Avenue, block 1908, lot 1. And that was for lot coverage variance for his patio. Is there a motion to accept the resolution?
I'll make a motion to accept the resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Jen, can we have a roll call?
Mr. Cunningham?
Yes.
Mr. Hochstein?
Yes.
Ms. Cohen?
Yes.
Mr. Polchak?
Yes.
Chairman Fonseca?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. Our first application this evening is application 2017-6, 343 Hillside Avenue LLC, 343 Hillside Avenue, block 2803, lot 17. It's for a front yard variance for a portico. Please come forward.
I'm going to swear you in. You'll raise your right hand. You swear the testimony you're about to give and any evidence you present to the board is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. Could you please spell your name for the record and your address?
M-O-H-A-M-M-E-D, and last name is G-H-A-N-I, and the address for which we're getting the variance for is 343 Hillside Avenue, Springfield, New Jersey.
Thank you.
Tell us what you want to do.
What we're trying to do is just put a roof over the front steps. There are already existing front steps, and the reason we're trying to do that is just in case for rain and snow. It's actually dangerous not to have the roof over the front steps. That's the only requirement we're asking.
Okay. This is a house that's being constructed?
Yes, yes.
And according to the plans, the portico is strictly going to be coming from the first floor level?
First floor level, that's correct. Yes.
Okay, all right. Steve, do you have any questions that you might want to ask about this?
That's the only thing that's not compliant is just the...
That's the only thing, just the front, just the steps over the roof over the steps.
Does anybody on the board have any questions regarding this application?
I did have one question. Are they the existing front steps? Did you use the same footprint?
Yes, it's
Because I know this is a new construction, so my question would be that if it is new construction, it's new steps.
the steps are exactly the same. They're going to be at the same location, so we're not moving the steps.
Okay, all right, so that explains why.
Yeah,
Yes, okay.
exactly. Yeah.
They are new steps, they're just in the exact
Exact same
footprint
location.
that existed.
Exact same footprint.
Okay. Does our professional have any questions regarding this application? Okay.
So the setback is the 18.7 of the steps as well? Portico's in line with them?
Yes, it is going to be on.
Does the board have any other questions regarding this?
I do, I have one question. It says that you require a front yard setback of 30 feet, correct? In the
Existing.
an existing house is 24.7, so what you're doing, you're just rebuilding on the existing
On the
non-conforming
existing
setback?
non-conforming, yes.
But you're not making any worse, because you're not going any higher than what was
Yeah.
there.
Good. Is there anybody here from the public that would like to be heard on behalf of this application? Okay. I think we can approve your variance.
Thank you.
Wait,
Hold on.
Not that easy.
Close. I'd like to ask for a motion to accept application 2017-6, 343 Hillside Avenue, LLC, 343 Hillside Avenue, lot 2803, lot 17, for a front yard variance for the portico.
I'll make a motion to approve the application.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have roll call.
Mr. Cunningham?
Yes.
Mr. Poltrock?
Yes.
Mr. Hochstein?
Yes.
Ms. Cohen? Yes. Chairman Fonseca?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Good luck.
You want to ask him if he wants to
Yeah.
waive?
Would you like to waive your right of the resolution to get started? You do so at your own risk, however, nobody has challenged your application, so you can do that if you'd like. You are exercising this at your own risk, rather than waiting until next month for the resolution to be finalized. All right?
It's fine.
So stipulated. Good luck. The next application is application 2017-7. Michael Catano, 37 Cypress Terrace, block 1903, lot 10. This is for a side yard and lot coverage variances for an addition.
Mr. Caetano, I'll swear you in. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear the testimony you're about to give and any evidence you present to the board is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Can you please state your name, spelling your last name, and give your address for the record?
Name is Michael Caetano, last name is C-A-E-T-A-N-O. Address is 37 Cypress Terrace.
Thank you.
Explain to the board what you'd like to do, sir.
I would like to add 9 foot to the left side of the house so I could accommodate a mudroom, a laundry room on the first floor, and a full bath on the first floor. By doing that, I will have a 2-car garage in the front and also add a front covered porch, like a farmer's porch. In the back, I'd like to enclose and make that an enclosed porch, just roof, no walls.
So you're looking to go from, what is it? Your left side setback is already non-conforming, and you want to go from 16.8 to 7.8, okay? Right yard, a foot, and lot coverage.
Lot coverage.
Now, I saw plans for a dry well here. How do you view that?
We reviewed the calculations and it's acceptable. What it does is allows an offset for the increase in impervious, that dry well will handle that.
It looks like it's considerably greater than what's required. I'm not an engineer, so
Well, the calculations they only accounted for an inch of rainfall. They should have accounted for more. So at the end of the day, it's,
so this is more than sufficient.
it's sufficient.
Okay. So you feel that would cover the lot coverage issue?
From an engineering standpoint, that covers a lot.
Okay. All right. Does the board have any questions regarding the additions and side setbacks, et cetera?
I have a question. Can you tell me the size of the chimney of the fireplace that you're building?
It is gonna be 2 foot, interior dimensions 2 foot deep by
Sorry.
42 inches.
How far is it going into the setback?
Uh,
Past what you have? Because
2'4",
because on your setback, you're showing as a 7.8
yes.
to the sideline, but the reality is your chimney's going another 2.4 into the setback.
Oh, no, there's no chimney, it's just a direct cut.
But
The box, yes.
structure that you're building,
Correct.
so, and you said it's how far? 2,
2'4",
so it'll be about 5 foot from the property line by the time you're done?
yes.
Plus the roof overhang, plus whatever side vent that you're gonna have to come out of the direct vent.
Side vents, most likely like 4 inches on
Right.
that, 4 to
That's-
6 inches.
It says right in there, it gets really hot, don't go near it, and
Yes.
stuff like that. So reality, you're gonna have 5 feet to the property line with the enclosure and the vent.
Correct.
Would you consider putting the fireplace into the room as opposed to into the setback?
I could do that, or I could put it in the rear of the house, where it won't interfere. So I'll push it in, make it even with that side of the house, or I'll put it in the back of the house.
My personal opinion is I think that's a reasonable
What-
compromise.
Whatever the board would like, I will do.
Well, it's because at that point, your side yard setback
Will be 5 feet.
is not 7.8, it's gonna be 5 something.
Okay, no
So,
problem.
and like Steve said, if that thing is hot, someone walks by it, that's not gonna be a good thing.
I have no issues with that. I will recess it in, or I'll move it to the back of the house.
Okay. Any other comments, Steve?
No, I think, otherwise, I think it's a nice plan.
Does the board have any other questions regarding the additions? Does our professional have some comments?
Just one question, the wood patio is gonna be gone? You're gonna remove it and then put, the addition, that portion of it, within the,
The wood patio is gonna be removed. There's a concrete slab underneath that, and it was part of the calculations. And the roof's gonna it's gonna be even with the patio. That's their existing.
So in other words, the dotted line is just gonna go from
That's just a covered roof area.
where it's just gonna come, this is gonna be coming out?
No,
Is this the roof, or just showing
the
that
dotted
the
line,
roof is gonna come out to this point?
yes.
All right,
The dotted line is the roof, the covered area only.
and there'll still be concrete underneath it,
Yes.
so you're just removing the wood.
I'm just removing the wood deck and leaving, staining the concrete that's there existing.
Oh, I actually have another question.
Yes.
On the front facade, is that whole front gonna be brick now? Because it doesn't really, it's not clear what the material is.
The front facade, I was actually debating on that, and I was gonna do, culture stone on the lower half of that, and then I was gonna do hardy or vinyl siding on top.
On the top half?
Yes,
Well, that was my other question. What are you gonna do? I mean, right now, there is stone on the front of your home.
yeah, it's
So-
fiberglass.
Support,
Yeah.
I don't know what, there's something other than vinyl siding or wood shakes on the front of your home?
Yes,
All right. Are you going to remove that along with all the other vinyl siding all the way around the home and put something that's the same all the way
yes,
around?
everything's gonna, the whole house will get re-sided, and the whole front will get redone.
I would encourage you to break that up horizontally, because I think it would look better.
Yes, I agree with that. I don't like that right side, honestly, in my opinion, but I'm working on that one.
Okay.
Okay. Does the board have any other questions? Is there anyone from the public that would like to be heard on this application? Okay. I think we can deal with this. I'd like to ask for a motion to approve the application with the stipulation that the fireplace is either gonna be set into the room or in the back of the house, where it could, if it's in the back of the house, is there gonna be an issue if it's set up the same way as it's shown on the plan, except that it's on the back of the house?
I don't think it causes any,
I just wanna make sure.
no, we're not,
I think he's okay.
that way the side yard will be 7.8,
Yes, right. I think it's, if you could put it on the back, I think it would be better. You know?
The overhang in the back house is,
And you won't lose some wall space by,
Yeah.
you know.
I have no
all right.
problem with that.
All right, so,
He's okay back there. He's okay back there in the back of the
Yeah.
house, yeah.
you have another question?
Yeah, I just want to point out that that 7.8 is not including the overhang, so I think the ordinance is to the overhang, so we have to allow for the overhang as well. So, however, we have to word that in the resolution.
Okay, got it.
You got it?
Yep.
Okay. So I'd like to ask for a motion to approve application 2017-7, Michael Catano, 37 Cypress Terrace, block 1903, lot 10, side yard and lot coverage variances for the addition, with the two stipulations that the fireplace is going to be put on the back of the house, and the overhang on the left side of the house. Is it the left side of the house?
Yeah, it's going to encroach more than 7.8, so how far do you want that overhang to be at the roof edge?
Can I do a foot, or is that average?
What? You
Foot
tell
to
us.
18 inches is your typical overhang?
Okay, a foot?
A lot of houses don't have side overhangs.
Yeah,
Mine doesn't, some of them do, I mean,
I think a foot is good for a lot of reasons, for ventilation and stuff.
You're fine.
like that,
Okay.
1 foot it is.
so, Okay.
That's for the left side?
left side.
Okay.
Got it. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve application 2017-7 for a side yard and lot coverage variances with the stipulations that were stated.
Excuse me, is there a second?
I'll second.
May we have a roll call?
Mr. Hochstein?
Yes.
Mr. Poltrock?
Yes.
Mr. Cunningham?
Yes.
Ms. Cohen?
Yes.
Chairman Fonseca?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Again, you can waive your right of receiving the resolution so you can get started soon.
Yes, please.
It's entirely up to you. Would you like to do that?
Yes, please.
Okay, so noted. Lots of luck.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.
Yes, he did.
I would have been reminded.
Okay.
It's okay, thank you. Okay. Our third application this evening is application 2017-8, Nelson Say and Michelle Almeida, 359 Milltown Road, block 1909, lot 15. It's a side yard variance for an addition. Please come forward.
How you doing?
We're doing well. Same for you.
Sir, please raise your right hand and swear you in. You swear the testimony you're about to give and any evidence you present to the board is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. Could you please give your name for the record, spelling your last name and your address?
Nelson Sa, last name is S.A.
Thank you.
Excuse me. So, please tell us what you'd like to do, sir.
Yeah, I want to put an extension over the existing left side of the house. Right now, the setback is 8.8, and I want to go above the existing wall.
Is this just going straight up, or are you going
Straight
over
up.
also?
Straight up.
He's just got an existing non-conforming.
Yeah. You just did it, just rebuilt the house, you didn't?
Yes, I built it 3 years ago, but I have 3 kids. We're going for another one, and we need space for when the grandparents come to visit. So, you know, and we're running out of space, believe it or not.
Holiday Inn, you know, it might be less expensive now.
New place on 22.
Are you gonna do anything? No. So as we're looking at this, that's exactly the stone that you're gonna put, is that stone on
That's,
the,
some type of hardy plank. Yeah, no stone up there.
no stone, so the stone is strictly on the bottom?
Yeah, the bottom is not gonna change, just we're gonna try to, do it a little bit different so it stands out a little bit. But, you know, keeping with my design background, keep the same way.
Okay. Does anybody on the board have any questions?
So that material's not going to match on, down below, but it's gonna complement in some way?
Exactly, yeah.
And your setback was to the building, not to the overhang, correct?
It's to the left side of, the left side of the property.
Right.
Yeah,
So
8.8.
we have to accommodate any kind of variance to include any kind of overhang on the left.
Overhang of the roof, yes.
Right.
Just like the prior application.
Right.
So the 8.8 doesn't include the overhang.
Right. How far is the overhang of the roof approximately?
I'm thinking about a foot.
About a foot?
Yeah.
Does anybody on the board have any other questions? Art, do you have any questions?
No, not for me, there's no change in impervious.
It's just going straight up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Is there anybody from the public that would like to be, whoops, heard on this? No? Okay. If there aren't any more questions, let's ask for a motion to approve application 2017-8 for Nelson, say? Sa, sorry.
There's an accent over the A.
Okay. And
I don't have that
I
one.
missed that day in school. And Michelle Almeida, 359 Milltown Road, block 1909, lot 15, for a side yard variance addition, with the 1 foot overhang for the roof? For the roof. Art? We can approve it as it is with the 1 foot overhang?
Correct, correct.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
We have a roll call, please.
He can have it.
Mr. Cunningham?
Yes.
Wasn't looking, sorry.
Mr. Poltrock?
Yes.
Mr. Hochstein?
Yes.
Ms. Cohen?
Yes.
And Chairman Fonseca?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Would you like to waive right of resolution?
I heard nothing and spoke.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck all the way around.
Yes.
Okay, our last motion is application 2017-9, Yuri Boer, 29 High Point Drive, block 1909, lot 15. This is for a side yard, front yard, lot coverage variances, addition.
Please raise your right hand, sir. Good evening. Do you swear testimony you're about to give and any evidence you present to the board is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, thank you. Please give your name for the record.
Yuri Boer, 29 High Point Drive, Springfield.
Tell us what you want to do.
I would like to knock my house down and build a 20-story hotel. But I will settle for a lot less with just a new house. If you can, need your help with that.
Are you knocking your existing house completely down and starting from scratch? Or are you leaving any?
Correct.
What was that? You are knocking it
I am.
completely down?
I was suggested to,
So on your plans that you have, just, your, certain areas are crocheted as the addition, but parts that are not, they're new as well, even though they're not crocheted anyway.
correct. Everything is going to be new.
I guess we'll first things is the lot coverage. You're 25%, you're at 28.53, and you want to go to 33.41. Have we done anything about any potential water issues?
I can introduce my engineer, Scott. He can probably better explain that what we're planning to do.
Come on up and be sworn in.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear testimony you're about to give and any evidence you present to the board is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Please give your name and work address for the board, please, and for the record.
William Scott, SCOTC. Our office is at 172 Washington Valley Road in Warren Township.
And could you establish your credentials, sir?
I'm currently licensed as a professional engineer in the state of New Jersey. I have been since 2004. I've represented similar plans before approximately 36 municipalities throughout New Jersey. And I have appeared one prior occasion before a Springfield board, although it was about 9 years ago.
I think we can accept his credentials.
Thank you.
Are you currently, is your license in good
Yes,
standing
yes,
right
sir.
now? Okay, thank you. Please proceed.
So Mr. Boer hired our firm to prepare the engineering plans necessary to go forward to obtain a building permit for this project. The exhibit I put up is sheet 1 of the site plan set. We have a drawing on the left side, which is basically the existing condition survey. You'll note that some of the areas are shaded in pink, and that's denoting the areas that will be removed from the site. The drawing in the middle, titled Grading and Soil Erosion Plan, you'll see a portion of the home and driveway and patio is shaded in gray. So that depicts the final product. And if you look within that gray shaded area, you can see the blue outline of where the existing home is now. So it gives you a sense of the scope of what we're trying to accomplish. Do you want me to answer your question about the lot coverage, or do you?
Well, actually, where it says grading soil erosion plan, the gray is what the final product is, what you're anticipating, correct? And the blue dotted line is the existing home?
That's where the existing home is. So anything outside that blue is showing you the extent of what the renovation addition would be.
Okay.
And if you look at the existing condition map, you can see we're removing this large patio in the rear of the house and the driveway. So our net increase in lot coverage is, I believe, 887 square feet. A good portion of that is because we've chosen to relocate the driveway entrance from Outlook Way onto High Point. And because the dwelling is set back from High Point, we've got an additional length of driveway. So we're picking up about 400 square feet of that 800 right there in the driveway. We've chosen to do that. I'm sorry. Oh, thank you. Sure. We've chosen to do that because Outlook Way is a steep road, and the driveway was backing out into the area where the cars were coming up to that stop sign. So coming off on High Point, which is a flatter road, and the cars will be stopped at the stop sign with a greater extent of visibility towards the driveway. I felt it's a safer circulation for the exiting and entering of the vehicles to the driveway. We also have a pool in the rear yard with a patio. So many people think of, pool and patio as a less intensive lot coverage. It's not a building which is going to obstruct the view. And that entire backyard area is screened by a row of 12-foot arborvitaes which encompass both sides and the rear of the property. So we've also provided a dry well to handle any of the increase in runoff that would be due to that increase of lot coverage. and we've sized it approximately 1/3 greater than what is required.
Okay. That's what I was looking for.
Eventually got around to it.
That's okay. See, fine, no problem.
So there are a number of other variances on this application. As you've heard, it's an undersized lot, and the imposition of the S-120 bulk standards to that undersized lot results in 3 variances on the existing home. So we have a variance for front yard, side yard minimum, and side yard total on the existing home. The proposed development, in all cases, either leaves the same variance amount or lessens it slightly. So the lot coverage variance is really the only variance that's increasing in amount.
Does anybody on the board have any questions so far?
So you said you're increasing the house footprint.
We're increasing the house footprint, but what we've done is we've held the sidelines, so we're not getting closer to any of the neighbors on the side. We are extending towards the back and towards the front. But we're not increasing that variance amount that's existing now.
But just where it says 12.98 on your plan, and you're adding towards the back, is that back corner conforming where you're adding onto the house, even though it's going further away? It's still non-conforming, correct?
Yeah, the side setback is 20 feet.
Right.
Yeah, so we're at 10, 10 existing, and we're going to 10.3 at the close end.
Right, and then when you're pushing back, it's still.
It's still, yeah, it's, with the exception of that little chimney bump out, the house itself is extending farther away from the neighbor as it goes back.
Okay.
Do you have any questions, sir?
I do. I know you've got several variances that you're requesting, some due to the nature of the size of the lot, and it's under the existing situation, it's not conforming, but you are, a couple of your variances, the lot coverage and your side yard and front yard variances, you're taking down a house and you're putting up another one. What is the hardship with not being able to meet the current zoning standards?
Well, the current zoning standards, when applied to this lot, which is undersized, would necessitate us pushing the house well back into the property, into that steep slope that you see in front of the pool. The front yard setback would be 50 foot off of outlook. So if we chose to reorient the house, we would end up with a very narrow building envelope where I don't think we could put any dwelling anywhere near this size on the property. And it's my understanding that although this is a very large project, this is a renovation of the existing home and not a complete gut and knockdown and replacement.
Say that again.
That's what I'm.
So, wait a second, back up. Restate your statement, please.
I'm saying it. Is that not true?
I apologize for misunderstanding. This is going to be new construction. Unfortunately,
Your engineer doesn't seem to think so.
Right, well, that's, okay, the architect.
I apologize for anything that,
Well,
it was my
just wanna make
understanding
sure
and things
what's
have
going
changed
on here.
over the course of this project, apparently.
Because the first question I asked him is are you leaving any of the existing home, or is this a complete knockdown and brand new from ground up? And
Sir,
you
I'll
answered
have to,
yes.
sir, I'll swear you in. Okay. Do you swear testimony you're about to give and any evidence you present to the board is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Please state your name for the record and then also give your address.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm Yuval Wellish. I'm an architect. I'm at 1020 Springfield Avenue. It's actually Mountainside, not Springfield. And I've been before this board several times before. Oh, and yes, my license is valid and everything okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So when we started that project, the intent was to use some of the existing house. But as we went along, you already wanted to change all that because the basement was a little bit too low and all that stuff, and you wanted everything to be like new. However, we are using the layout of what we have. Okay, in other words, we're not exceeding only back and front. We're not going sideways in any way.
The envelope is not the same.
That's why.
Wait, it's not the same envelope.
Excuse me?
You're not using the same envelope. You're changing the envelope.
We are.
Your footprint is changing.
I know, it does.
Okay.
But not to the sides. We're trying to use the same lines.
Right, I
of
think
the
we
existing
established
one.
that part.
I'm sorry?
I thought we had established that.
I know, I'm just making sure that.
Okay,
everybody-
no, all right.
I think the engineer got a little bit confused.
No, I think
that's
the
all.
only thing that he didn't get was the fact that this was a brand-new building, as opposed to an interior wall being
You're right.
left or something to that matter.
That's why I interceded, I wanted to make sure that everybody.
So,
My apologies, my apologies, my apologies.
Yeah, with that having been said, again,
So I just want, for the record, that, you know, you're asking for three variances, and you should go through the reasons for needing them, and then what the hardship is, if you don't, variances aren't approved.
yes, absolutely. So on this particular property, we have a front yard setback that's required of 50 feet and a rear yard that's required of 50 feet. The lot depth off of Outlook is 90 feet, which leaves us with unbuildable lot if the house is fronted on Outlook without a substantial variance for front and rear yard. 50-foot setback from High Point, if we were to hold that, that would push the proposed house towards that steep slope area that comes down towards the pool. We are holding the existing front yard line of the existing home as far as any visual change that the neighbors might notice. We're not coming closer to that roadway. So due to the geometry of that lot, I don't think you can proceed without substantial variances granted on this house or any house. If you look within the shaded area, we've depicted the setback line, which is this dashed triangle, and that would show you the area that we could potentially build within without a variance. So it's an area that's about a third the width of the proposed house. It's very narrow, tapers down as it gets closer to lot 4. Again, we have a great grade change as we go down towards the north. The level area, which is prime for building, is towards High Point Drive.
What would prevent you from decreasing your side yard variance to adjoining lot 6 by making the house slightly narrower and going slightly deeper?
You know, I suppose a change like that could be done. This is the house that my client feels is suitable for his family. You know, we would have to factor into our decision and discussions, you know, what is the difference between a 10-foot setback, an 11-foot setback, and a 12-foot setback, as far as, you know, visually looking at your neighbor's house. I don't know that that's a noticeable difference.
How much higher is this building than the existing building at that setback?
At the setback, I'd have to refer to the architectural plan.
I don't remember the height of the other buildings out of it.
Yeah, on the front.
You mean the
right
height
there.
over here?
Yep,
What is the height of this one here?
the existing.
Oh, the existing?
Yeah.
how much higher is, you said that you're building on the existing footprint, but according to the zoning, chart, you're going from 1 story to a 33.67 foot height.
allowable height.
It's an allowable height, but you're also only 10 feet from the property line, so you're really going up a lot higher.
No, the height refers to the peak.
But you're going from 1 story to, but you're going from 1 story to 2 story, 10 feet from the property line.
Yeah, and that area that, you know, we abut with lot 6, that's the driveway area along lot 6. It's not directly abutting the home itself. That's where they enter into the backyard with the vehicles.
Can I?
It's also the reason why we went primarily with his roofs, so that roof will, go away from the property, not like gables, which are easier to build and definitely cheaper.
You had said that in back of the garage, that you couldn't build because of steep slope issues. Is there a reason why you can't make the house narrower and deeper and build in that area? Because it seems like it's pretty flat in that area. On the topo plan.
Yeah, I think what I was trying to say was if we held that 50-foot front yard setback and then pushed to the rear, we'd start encountering the steep slopes. You know, there is in that patio area, relatively level area, and also behind the proposed garage. You know, the farther we push the home back from High Point, the farther that driveway is going to get from High Point. It's going to become a long, you know, I don't want to say it's going to look like a runway, but it's going to be a substantially long, wide driveway, which might be a bit unusual looking.
I'm not saying push the garage back from the front of the garage. I'm talking about building, instead of building to the left, building behind the garage and maybe manipulating your square footage a little bit so that potentially you could have a bigger house and be less imposing on your neighbor.
Yeah, I'd have to say that's possible. You know, again, we'd be coming, I think, closer to Outlook Way with the dwelling. With this, you know, the overall mass of the dwelling would be coming closer to Outlook. You know, actual compliance with that 20-foot side setback is going to be, it's nearly impossible on this lot. And it appears the house adjoining us on lot 6 is also less than 20 feet from that sideline as well.
Well, you know, you got to give us a reason why we should allow this. You're not, it just doesn't seem to be coming across. I mean, perhaps you haven't configured the proper home for the lot.
With respect to this home and where this home is situated, we aren't getting any closer to our neighboring lot with this home. I understand that it is higher, but it is abutting a driveway area, not a side yard area that would be used for anything but vehicle traffic. We're trying to locate this home in the area where the existing home was situated.
There's no real good reason why the lot coverage has to be increased, except for to build this home the way you want to build it.
Yeah, if we were to go forward and tell the applicant he can't have a rear yard patio, or you require him a smaller house, then yeah, you could comply with that. You know, we're asking for variance for 800 square feet, which is not overly excessive.
Your house is, your proposed dwelling is 600 feet more than the existing.
I could understand if you were reusing the existing house and you had that hardship of having an existing footprint that you had to maintain, but now the fact that you're doing a new house, seems to me that maybe you could possibly take another look at the design and pull the house away from the neighbor a little bit and maybe use some of that flat area adjacent to Outlook and maybe make the house, you don't even have to change the square footage of the house, you just make it so it's less of a side yard setback to the neighbor.
No, we're talking about the neighbor to lot 6, is there a neighbor that they're concerned with?
That's the neighbor on my left.
Yes, you're,
But we're not getting any closer.
but you're getting a lot higher, so you're really intensifying the quality of light and shadows on this property and.
We're not getting that close, that's the problem.
Well, compared to another houses on my street, I mean, this is going to be just an average house.
Do you have any examples of houses that have been built at
It's the house
10,
to the
10,
left of
10 foot from the property line, 2 stories high, like that?
The house to the left of Mr. Basil, the monstrosity there, that's,
Do you know what the
my
setback,
house compared to that is going to be small.
do you know what the setbacks are on that house?
You know, it's not.
We don't
it's-
have any documentation on that.
You know, it's got nothing to do with the size of the home. It's more to do with the size of the lot that the home sits on. And, I mean, perhaps you might want to take into consideration the comments that the board has made and, you know, what our engineer has stated, and perhaps maybe you want to try to tweak this a little bit and then come before us again.
I don't believe the board can give you a number that we need to comply with, but something that we think they'll feel is more reasonable.
This one, a little bit.
No, this is
This
where,
is the existing.
right, but this is where we're interested here, where we're abutting lot 6, because we're increasing the height from what's existing here, so we're impacting our neighbor with height. So can we agree to lessen this width, put it into the back?
Meaning shade from the
Kind of push the footprint around so you use more of the right rear and less to the left, so that it's less imposing on the neighbor.
The answer is yes, you know, shave it out a little bit. The problem is that sometimes it becomes uncomfortable, so to speak. In other words, the left side of the house, whatever room it is right now, it doesn't really matter. They're the 12 feet long. And you just have, it's relatively big, I agree. 1,600 square feet, you're right, it's a if you start to cut it, it becomes like a narrow and long room that doesn't make sense.
Maybe you need to like kind of reconfigure the plan a little bit.
Yeah, but there's almost nowhere to go.
Maybe you need to change the style of the home.
It has nothing to do with the style.
Then you know what, we're at an impasse right now, and we can vote. So, I mean, I've given you an opportunity to maybe come back, or we can vote.
We'd like the opportunity to come back, please.
You're more than welcome to, that's why, you know, we're offering that to you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody from the public that would like to be heard on this matter? Yes, sir.
First, I want,
Please come forward.
my name is Richard Bass, and I reside next to Mr. Bohr.
Could you give your address, sir?
Yes, 21 Hyde Point Drive,
And could you spell your last name?
B-A-S-S-I-N, B as in boy. First, I want to thank all of you again for taking the time to serve on this board as our fellow residents. I would just want to make sure that I'm going to be put on notice when Mr. Bohr returns with his amended plans, that's all.
Well, it'll be, the next opportunity would be July.
I assume that he's required to put me on notice once again.
No, sir.
Here's your
You-
notice.
We're giving you notice right now that if they submit revised plans in time, it'll be at the next meeting.
So you just stop by the annex, and, check.
Yeah, and when will the next meeting be?
The next meeting
July
is
18th.
Yep,
the
July 18th.
18th, I believe.
July 18th,
Mm-hmm.
6:30.
Okay, so July 18th, 6:30, but check the notice boards.
You can call me and I'll let you know.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
just one other request. How far in advance do they have to submit the plans for us to look at before the meeting?
I usually require it at least 2 weeks so the professionals can look at it prior to you guys looking at it.
Did you guys hear that? Okay. So that's to be on the July meeting.
10 days by law.
Thank
for your
you.
time and consideration. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
At this point, I'd like to ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll move.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So the whole thing's not.